So population growth is a very real concern. When we were hunter-gatherers, there were about 5 million people on the planet. Now there's 7 billion, and we're headed towards 9 billion, maybe even 10 billion by the middle of the century. And some environmentalists would say population growth is at the root of all environmental problems, and many people would say, hey, we have to end it and we have to shrink the population dramatically. Well, first, population growth is slowing. In 1950, the average woman on Earth had 5 children over the course of her lifetime. Now, the average woman on Earth will have about 2.5 children over the course of her lifetime. And when that reaches 2, that's the magic replacement rate, and we're on track to hit that. So by the middle of the century, we will have ended population growth, most likely. Now, all that having been said, is a smaller population better? Because human brains are the sources of ideas, and ideas multiply all of the resources and make your life better. So ask yourself this: would you be better off if fewer people had lived before you, or if more people had lived before you? If fewer, maybe they would have used up fewer finite resources, but then fewer people would have come up with all these great ideas that enhance your life, whether it's antibiotics, or the electric light, or the internet, or television, or radio, or the automobile. All of those came from human minds. So human minds are an ultimate source of wealth, in a certain sense, in the same way that human mouths, our consumption, is a depleter of some resources. So we have to find a balance. Now, the other very exciting thing is that it's possible that more people means more innovation, even more than it means more consumption. What I mean is, twice as many people means twice as much consumption, but it might mean 3 times as much innovation. And we can see that throughout history. If you look at the starting points of different disconnected continents, the ones that started with the highest population, the highest land area, were the ones where the most innovation happened. You look at Eurasia and Africa together as one large landmass. That's where the bulk of the innovations over the last several millennium came from, up until the time of Columbus, when people connected again. And that's in large part because they started with a larger population. The Americas had Stone Age technology, agriculture somewhat, but didn't have the metals or the printing press or the astronomy that had existed there in Europe and Asia. Australia, smaller and more separate, didn't even have agriculture. But they did have some tools, the boomerang and other sophisticated tools they'd created. Tasmania, separate from Australia and smaller, didn't even have those tools. So the places that had the most people produced the most new ideas, and those ideas then spread to everyone in those land masses. So it's a double-edged sword. People are sources not just of consumption, but of innovation.